anyone has a box in. That's not what he does. Exactly, the same. Focus.
Or maybe if you're one of the workers clubs who have got to philosophy that's going to be found on the camera. Maybe if you're getting on those booklets.
She is!
It's hilarious. You see the like you're wearing here.
It's the bombs of a lamp behind it.
You look like you're wearing it. It looks like a rabbit. Yeah. And I'm drawn to greens and reds
You're
and
always
purple.
more.
Yeah.
And therefore, if we saw you in something...
Aren't we lucky to have live music in such a special hall as well? Welcome to everyone here today. By the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates, and friends of the university, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the 24th of the Open University's degree ceremonies being held in 2014. It is my great pleasure to also welcome our honorary graduate, Sir William Atkinson. We are delighted to be able to honour him today. Each year, the Open University awards over 14,000 degrees, and throughout 2014, more than 7,000 of the graduates are being presented for their qualifications at degree ceremonies such as this one today in London. These are being held in 13 different towns and cities throughout the UK, as well as in Dublin, in Versailles, and in other places as far apart as Moscow, Bucharest, and Addis Ababa. This illustrates the extraordinary scale, scope and reach of the Open University, underlining the fact that today you're joining a worldwide community of graduates. It goes without saying that today is a very important occasion in the life of you, our graduates, your families and other loved ones, as well as the university staff who I hope you will feel have nurtured and supported you. You could also be forgiven for feeling that the occasion is so important that it needs to be solemn. You're quite wrong in every sense. It's a day of celebration. And I'm going to be very disappointed if anyone crosses the stage this afternoon with anything less than thunderous applause or whatever other way you may choose to express your enthusiasm and support. So with that in mind, I think we need to practice actually, just to get us well done. I'd like all our graduates to stand please, and I'll ask the rest of you to please give them a rounding, thunderous applause that prepares them for the rest of the day. Graduates, please stand. The floor here in front of me. So I expect lots of applause, lots of whistles, lots of dancing and jumping and up and down so that we really do have a celebration later on today. Today's ceremony, though, is going to begin with the presentation of those graduates who have gained a higher degree, and they're all sitting over there and looking lovely. And then you're going to join us here on the stage and become part of our academy. I'm really looking forward to welcoming you. You're going to be presented by Dr. Christina Lloyd, our Director of Teaching and Learner Support. We will then see the awarding of the honorary degree of Doctor of the University to Sir William Atkinson, and Professor Mary Kellett, our Professor of Childhood and Youth in the Faculty of Education and Language Studies, will present Sir William. He will also then sign our honorary booklet over here before receiving and accepting, giving us an acceptance speech. Then we will continue our presentation of graduates and those who have gained their first degrees, and then to conclude the ceremony, I'm going to give a personal address to you all. I will now call upon Dr. Lloyd to present our higher degree graduates.
Provost Chancellor, colleagues, graduates, guests. William Atkinson was born in 1950, the second of three brothers. His family emigrated to Britain when he was 7. Arriving in London was a bewildering experience from a young boy from the Jamaican interior. It was bewildering for his mother too, tasked with getting her 3 sons into the local primary school in Battersea. Somehow the school got William mixed up with his older brother and thought he was 9, not 7. His mother was too overawed by the British education system to challenge this, and thought they must know what they were doing. Thus it was that William had to try and cope in a class 2 years ahead of him. Not surprisingly, he was judged to be a slow learner and was duly consigned to remedial classes. Meanwhile, his older brother, no doubt, was hailed as a genius. The blunder came to light when William sat his 11+, which he failed, of course. But it was the first time his date of birth was officially checked. He was immediately reassigned to an age-appropriate class. By this point, however, William had started to believe he really was a slow learner and never recovered the ground he had lost. 2 years later, he sat his 11+ again, this time at the right age, but still did not pass. So William is one of a few elite who have the distinction of having failed their 11+ twice. This low achievement continued in secondary school, but William was not unhappy because he got to play lots of sport, which he was good at. Everything changed, however, when William went into sixth form. It was all down to one inspirational teacher who was determined to draw out his innate talents. She challenged him, stretched him, and finally got William to believe in himself as a learner. There is a happy ending to this story. William worked his socks off and secured a place at Teacher Training College, and the rest, as they say, is history. William went on to be just an inspirational teacher as the one who had saved his learning in the sixth form. He is renowned as a transformational head teacher who turned several schools around in some of the most challenging districts of London. This lifetime mission to improve the educational chances of some of our most deprived young people includes service on the Department for Education's Special Measures Action Team, on the Standards Task Force, and on the Home Office Youth Justice Programme. He continues to have a number of board-level appointments, including the Clink, a charity that works to reduce reoffending through a programme of skills and mentoring. He also gives generously of his time to the Lyric Theatre, the Royal Shakespeare Theatre, a trust and is current for the charity Research Autism. William was knighted in 2008 for his services to education and community. 2 years later, the National College for Leadership of Schools honoured him with selection as a National Leader of Education. He has contributed to a range of radio and television programmes, including the Channel 4 documentary, The Unteachables. Married for 40 years with 4 children, this devoted family man and iconic educationalist has transformed the lives of thousands of young people. Pro Vice-Chancellor, by authority of the Senate, I present to you the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Sir William Atkinson.
I took longer to sign my signature because I feel nervous. Normally I'm not the kind of person who feels nervous or overawed when I'm talking to groups of people. The last time I felt like this was at Buckingham Palace with the Queen. And I think I probably feel more nervous today than I did on that occasion. Anyway, I'll be very brief, you'll be pleased to know. Pro-Vice Chancellor, heads of faculty, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I wish to thank the Open University for this highly prestigious award. I would also like to thank Professor Mary Kelly for her warm and generous comments. I would also like to offer my congratulations to all the graduates today. Many of you I know have had to juggle jobs and family responsibilities in order to complete what I know was an arduous course. My congratulations to you, and I know it's a job well done. But this, for many of you, is the beginning. You will go on to start new enterprises, go on to extend the careers you already have, or in fact, just to enjoy your life, partly informed by the fantastic education you've received at the Open University. I'm deeply honoured that this great university has chosen to award me this doctorate of the university. I'm particularly pleased to be receiving this award from an institution that I've always admired for its pioneering work in bringing higher education to sections of the community who for one reason or another may have missed out first time round. I was nearly one of those second chancellors. 3 years into my teaching career, I decided that I wanted to have promotion. And in order to achieve the level I was inclined towards, I realized that I had to upgrade my teaching certificate to a degree level. I therefore carried out a very careful review of the available options open to me at that time. I decided that to apply to the Open University to study a social science degree. However, before completing the process, my employers at the time, the London Education Authority, offered me a fully funded part-time place at a local polytechnic, and I took that. The Open University, dedicated as it is to academic excellence and inclusion, has been an inspiration to me in my work with school children. It is my firm conviction that students' starting position does not necessarily determine their destiny. All my working life, I've tried to work with colleagues who have been passionate about empowering young people to believe that they were capable of being their own authors of their own futures. As a student at Battersea County School in South London, I was fortunate to be taught by teachers who never judged a student by their social class, gender, or ethnic origin, but rather by their individual merits. These teachers helped to dramatically transform my life chances through persistence, passion, high expectation, and a good deal of hard work on their behalf. The example set by these pioneers of comprehensive education has strongly influenced my decision to work in schools containing disproportionate numbers of students drawn from the most disadvantaged sections of our community. Finally, I would wish to thank my wonderful wife of 40 years and my 4 children for their love and support throughout my career and way beyond my career. Vice Chancellor, I accept this honorary doctorate with humility, gratitude towards everyone who has assisted me and contributed to my journey. Thank you very much.
Provost Chancellor, we now come to the part of today's ceremony that marks the presentation of graduates who have gained a first degree and have been able to attend here today. The full subject and classification details are printed in the Directory of Graduates. I present to you for the degree of Bachelor of Arts with First Class Honours, Jacqueline Arnold. That's number 2 for me. It's absolutely lovely to see you all and to shake your hands as you come across the stage. Some of you have got really sweaty paws. You must be a bit nervous, and that moment comes for you and all of a sudden you have to walk your bit. I hope you haven't forgotten the moment. Please try and cherish it if you can. And for those people that grabbed my hand and really gave it a shake, that might be your business handshake. But I've still got to use this hand for the rest of the week, so thanks for that. But anyway, I won't berate you too much. It is now my opportunity to thank everyone here today, to thank all the graduates, the guests, the staff, just everyone who's sort of come and wants to share and be part of this day. And we heard some fantastic cheers and balcony clapping and rapping and people standing up and taking photos, and I hope you feel you've celebrated and that you've been so proud, obviously, of the person who's walking across the stage here. It's a fantastic atmosphere and we're very lucky to be here. But let me tell you a little bit more about the Open University. It's a great university and it's led the way in higher education and flexible approaches. It has been and still is being adopted around the world as a model, and it gives more people the opportunity to study in a way that suits their individual circumstances. And I'm sure for all of you here, that's been true for you. I'd say also the OU has grown so significantly over the years, with more and more people combining study with work, and many are returning to education later in life too. And we saw evidence of that here today. I'd like to congratulate all of this year's graduates who are following in the footsteps of the many thousands of previous successful students. As you know, we're open to people, places, methods and ideas, and these attributes are a hallmark of your journey with us. Let me tell you a few stats though, because there's some really interesting things here. Maybe it should have been a TMA, I could have quizzed you about what you know. Did you know, for example, that the average age of a new undergraduate student is 29? And 30% of our students are now under the age of 25. 5 to 10 years ago, that would have been 10 years older. And 73% of our students are working full or part-time in their studies. And here's the pop quiz. Are you working? Put up your hand if you are. How many of you are working? Well, look, that's tremendous, isn't it? That's absolutely tremendous. And you got your qualification at the same time. I mean, that is some mean feat. 12% of our students are from ethnic minorities, around 10% of our students declare a disability, and 78% of our students have no previous higher education qualifications at entry. So it's a real testimony to the way we do things at the Open University to see so much success. It's not always the way that a traditional pathway gets you to your aspirations or your dreams. We all do it differently. We also have around 80 of the FTSE 100 companies that actually work with us too, and they send their students to us. So I just wanted to hear who in the audience is being supported by their employer to study with us. We've got a handful of people. That's fantastic to see. There are a few other things though that we do that you might not be aware of. For example, we make over 600,000 telephone calls a year to support you. We send more than 300,000 emails. We mark more than 1 million student assignments. There are 91,739 examinations that are sat, and there are over 130,000 end-of-course assessments. You are in part responsible for that, but I hope you feel that we're supported in turn. I'm delighted to be here on this special occasion, though. I love these events. I think they're tremendous. They remind us here at the university what we're here for, and seeing you students, because you are studying at a distance, makes it even more real. So it's great to be celebrating this here with you today. For me, as I said before, it's a special day because I get to, touch all your hands. Sometimes even give you a hug, look into your eyes and see what the success has meant for you. I like the shy grins, and the ones that aren't smiling, I usually say, give me a smile. And before you know it, you see a mouthful of tears. Nobody fell over today, that was pretty good. And there was some pretty killer heels that came across the stage. And there were a nice pair of blue sort of hush puppy types. One of a nice pair of shoes matched the gown. Thank you, you're a good advertisement. So there was a lot of dignity and pride as well as you walked along this stage, and I hope you remembered it and take the time to remember it as you sit down. It's important for us at a ceremony like this to be mindful and to reflect on the things that have been achieved. Be in this moment and cherish it. Although for some of you, you might be coming back again, as some of you told me you would. I hope I get to shake that hand again. But for those of you who don't, this is a special day, so try and remember it. The ceremony passes really quickly, and although there were so many of you when we started, here we are now already at the end. You've given years of persistence and sheer willpower to keep you going, and your lives are busy ones, we know that. You're working, you've got families, all sorts of things are happening that you have to juggle all at the same time. I just wanted to know, can you remember how it felt to hand in that last TMA? Was it 1 minute to 12? Or was it quarter to? I don't know, you're good students. It was at least an hour before, wasn't it? So sit back and really bask in the success and feel full of pride for what you've actually achieved today. But remember, it also means things to other people around you too. So for those who have helped you in this journey, you need to be also reminded of the roles that you have each played and the impact this achievement makes on those closest to you, especially for future offerings and more broadly the global world that we live in. I'd like to say it's not just your achievement though. We at the university feel we own a bit of it too, and we claim it as ours. The advisor in registrations who handled your first telephone call and you weren't quite sure what you wanted to do or needed to change your mind. The academics who have designed and written the fabulous course materials and the learning experiences that you've had. The student services staff who've supported you when you felt like you really couldn't go on. And of course, our associate lecturers. The men and women who have guided you through the whole OU learning experience. They're on the front line, from the moment that you've registered on your course to the moment that you cross the stage today. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to say a special thank you to the staff who organised this event. Isn't it a tremendous event? It's so professionally handled. I really think we should thank them for that work today. special group of staff that I think sometimes we forget to thank, and that's the staff that sit here in front of you on the stage. And I'd like to ask my colleagues to stand so that we can thank you properly for all the support that you've given to the students over the years. Please stand and let's congratulate them. When I do that to them, they stand there a bit awkwardly like, oh really, do you have to? It's like, yes I do. Of course, they're not the only ones that have helped you reach your goal today. And I know it's not easy being an OU student. I know, as I said before, that many of you are completing your studies while you're holding down full-time jobs, you're managing your family, and you're overcoming, in some cases, some tremendous obstacles. But I also know there's one thing harder than being an OU student, and that's living with an OU student. Yes, you can hear the chuckles from that. So we should also pay tribute to your family and friends. We should thank them for supporting you when you were getting going, for standing by when things were getting tough, and celebrating with you now in your moment of success. So I will ask the graduates to stand, face your family, find your family, and thank them wholeheartedly. Of an Open University qualification, and I'm sure that your long journey to today's celebration will have been demanding. You'll have had to plan carefully and manage your time. You'll have needed considerable self-discipline, persistence, and commitment to complete your award. These personal qualities will always be with you. Maybe you developed a few more, perhaps you learned more about yourself than you probably wanted to know, but now needed to know, and you may not outwardly recognise these things, but you personally will know what they are. You've developed skills that will enable you to contribute in multiple ways to the world that we live in. Your creative and critical thinking skills, your ability to craft arguments, analyse ideas, and knowledge in a range of discipline areas, bringing relevance to your work, personal lives, and the society in which we engage. Your self-motivation, your newfound communication skills, your ability to reflect, and new professional behaviours relevant to a multiple of contexts. When we asked you what 3 words you used to describe your experience, these are some of the things you said to us. You said it was inspirational, it was hard work, it was challenging, worthwhile, maybe fun, it crept in there somewhere. For others it was awesome. What better could we ask for from you? I hope you all feel in your own minds that you could say the 3 words that this degree means to you, and this experience is, and that it's fabulous. You probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't. You also represent everything that your modern world needs, in that you've demonstrated your ability to contribute these skills through your workplaces, your communities, and in some cases local and international organisations. And I did want to ask that amongst us here today, I wonder how many of our global graduates we have. Are there any international students here today who have travelled to this degree ceremony? Well done to you. We are very glad to welcome you here today, and we hope that this ceremony has lived to your expectations. You are definitely, all of you combined, the kinds of people that society needs. So don't waste this opportunity. We hope that your learning journey won't stop here and you'll keep coming back for more. Today is the start of your journey to not the end of one, that is lifelong, as life-wide as learners. Stay connected, be an active member of our alumni, and take advantage of the global community, whether it's for informal or formal learning. We still have a lot to offer you. The Open University is very, very special. There's nothing really quite like it anywhere, and I think you know that. You can be very proud to be a graduate of this university, and we all hope that you will bear the colours of the university with pride and be the best you can as an individual and within our society. You know that we're innovative on so many levels. Many of you have been using the new technologies, the OU Anywhere app, which won 2 Guardian Awards last year, Our business school has been shortlisted recently for 2 times Higher Education Awards for Best Business School of the Year. Go OU! We also launched Future Learn last year, and along with 29 partners also on a global scale, with approximately 1 million registrations and more than 500,000 course sign-ups on a variety of free courses. The new student support teams provide wraparound support. We also have a vibrant research culture, and we hold a Regis Chair, which is incredibly prestigious. Our space research has also been in the news recently, and our impact is felt in far-flung places like Africa, Pakistan and UAE, just to name a few. You also consistently rate us in the top 5 UK universities for the student experience in the National Student Survey. Thank you for your support. We really appreciate that. So I might say you can be very proud. I too am very proud. You know, what a fantastic university the Open University is. What a fantastic qualification that you have. So put it to good use. Treasure the opportunities that lay in front of you. So I'm going to ask for one very last time before we close this ceremony, for all our graduates to stand and for everyone here to join me in giving you the biggest round of applause. Congratulations to you from all of us. Anymore. We're still holding you. Thank you very much. I have to say the audience participation has lived up to my expectations this afternoon. Thank you very much, audience. So, let's do the final formal part of the proceedings. The proceedings of this degree ceremony have now been completed, and I declare this meeting of the congregation closed. Would all of those who are able to stand please do so.